What's up, everybody? I am K. Marie.
I am Lou.
I'm Mary.
And we are
Murked in the Midwest.
Two best friends. One with an unborn baby and one with a hidden motive.
And an ugly ass ponytail.
So guess where today's episode is coming to you from?
Chicago?
No.
East St. Louis.
Yes.
Ooh, it's ratchet over there.
So it's coming from East St. Louis, Illinois, not St. Louis, in Illinois. No
Right
S.
across the border.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. They like, it's like close cousins. It's almost like what's that Memphis in like Arkansas, like that.
Oh no, those are pretty close.
Yeah,
too.
Mempharcana, something like that. You call it
I
some
know
shit.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly that. But okay, so it involves Tiffany Hall and Jimella Tunstall. They both are from East St. Louis, Illinois. Tiffany Hall was born March 23rd, 1982. Jimella was born in February of 1983. The date is actually unclear. Her children also, Damon Tunstall, age 7, Ivan Tunstall-Collins, age 2, and Jinella Tunstall, age 1.
So, Jimella and Tiffany Hall, they actually met as they started kindergarten. As Kay already mentioned, they grew up in East St. Louis, Illinois. And so they became best friends, and, their families was close. Over the years, they remained close, and this was how it was up until 2006. So, shortly after starting school, they became best friends, and they got to the point where Jimella, she grew up in foster care, but she became friends with Tiffany. She trusted Tiffany, despite her trust issues. Like, they were like, hey, you my girl. So Jimella was 16 years old when she gave birth to her first child, which was Damon.
Okay.
She had another son, Ivan, in 2003, and then she had a daughter, Jinella, in 2004. Now, in 2005, she did temporarily lose custody of her children, and she was faced with a domestic battery charge. And this was for whooping her oldest son with a belt and an extension cord.
So, I mean, now
our day growing up,
you got
extension cord, belt, all of that stuff, it was common. Not saying it's right, but it was common.
I will say switches are what we got.
Yes,
we got belts
too.
and switches.
Yes. So, but the good thing was that, she completed the parenting classes and she worked hard to get her kids back. The charges were dropped and she was granted custody of her children.
I'm sure it was really hard for her too, being such a young mom.
Yeah.
And not really having a lot of guidance, clearly, since she was growing up in the system and stuff.
Not like having this big family of support. So, but she did get her kids back. She had got a vehicle. She was about to start some college classes.
Okay.
She was interested in like photography, but she had to put that all on hold because she found out she was expecting her fourth child.
Ooh, honey, learn birth control. Get some.
So this was early 2006. She found out she was expecting her fourth child. Now Tiffany, she also had some struggles as a young adult. So her mom says that at one point Tiffany set fire to the kitchen.
A little pyromaniac.
Pretty much. Like, she's like, she was so rebellious. She set my kitchen on fire. Like
No, wait a minute. She did it on purpose? Or
she
it was
did it on purpose.
Oh, shit. Hell no.
Like,
that's the one who needs the damn extension cord.
That's a little
Whoop
bit
that
past,
ass. Come on now.
Rebellious.
I was Joan of Arc in my former life.
At age 14, Tiffany was actually sent to juvenile corrections facility
where she
on battery charges, and that was because she kicked her mother.
See,
I could never.
No,
do you see why I said she needed a whooping? Now that one needed a whooping. The other child might not. I mean, she was a little fast, but she wouldn't have sent people on fire, kicking her mama. Come on now.
I could never.
You wouldn't be here to talk about it?
I wouldn't be here today talking about it.
You wouldn't be sitting around with no ugly ass ponytail, just sitting on top of your head, looking crazy.
So
it gets worse.
So after that, she dropped out of school before junior high, but her and Jimella still stayed best friends. She also became a mother at 16 years old. She gave birth to a daughter, and then the year after that, she had another daughter. In 1999, when her second daughter was just 2 months old, Tiffany came home carrying this limp baby in her arms, and her mother was like, "What the hell?" and called 911. And so the baby was transferred to the hospital, and it was determined that the child had been abused and faced long-term disabilities as a result of her injuries.
She should have went her ass to jail right then and there. Stayed there.
Right then and there. So they did take Tiffany's kids, and she was
as they should have.
Yep, and they filed an abuse suit against her.
Mm-hmm.
However, charges were never filed by the state's attorney.
Absolutely absurd.
And so they continued to work with Tiffany and ruled in 2002 that Tiffany was no longer a danger to her daughters, and they gave her kids back.
Hold on, have to choose when you're not a fucking danger to children.
How about, have y'all seen that little boy in the car seat? He like, a bullshit. A bullshit. Because that's some bullshit. You can't, you give your kid a permanent disability, and they're like, oh, well, you know, she's not that dangerous. Let's get a kid back and see what happens.
But then we got situations like Samantha,
who was a good mom and was trying to get herself together.
Actually, I know somebody that knows her, and everything what we saw in the media or heard was not actually like it. I'm not gonna say it wasn't true,
no,
but it was literally a half truth, if you will.
No, really?
No disrespect to the dead, nothing like that, but I'm just saying.
So we're talking about our previous episode with Geraldine the cuckoo. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm specifically speaking on the fact that, you know, Samantha's kid was apparently taken because of a domestic violence case, because the police came and saw that there was some
form of abuse
in the house, and so they took her son, and hell, she never got him back. But here it is, somebody beat their kid to the point of long-term disabilities and got her kids
right back. And the thing that kills me with this is anytime law enforcement or DCS or anybody's involved, it's almost like they have parameters of what makes you not a threat to children.
Come on now, parameters. Permanent disability should be a parameter. That should be a big red light.
But they're like, oh, it's okay now. Everything's good. You know, she probably just needed a hug and a nap. And you can go back to your abusive ass parent. You needed a Snickers bar because you were hungry.
The baby was only 2 months old.
And
when she gave the baby a permanent disability,
right. And that's what kills me. Like, they just the like law enforcement, any government officials that has anything to do with DCS, not all, but just a select few. It's almost like they just give you like a cool off period and then decide that everything is all hunky dory.
That's crazy.
Well, whatever. She got her kids back. Woo.
Oh, okay.
And that same year, she was charged with possession of a stolen credit card.
Oh, fantastic! She's a fraud person too.
Yes. Looking like a still do fraud.
So by September of 2006, Jimella was 7 months pregnant with her daughter, and Tiffany had also announced the pregnancy to her family.
They were like best friends that did like a pregnancy pack or something.
Yep.
Huh. Okay.
Like, you have a kid, I have a kid.
That's some weird shit to me.
I have a kid. And so she announced her pregnancy, and we'll see what happens from there on, because it gets interesting.
Matter of fact, before we even get deep into this, it is extremely we're just gonna give you a trigger warning that, of course, this involves minors, and this involves
some really graphic detail.
Just a heads up.
Really. So if you feel like you can't listen to this, we're just letting you know to stop right now.
Because this is one that it was definitely hard doing the research on this one, because it hit hard. So we just wanted to give that warning to you guys, so you have fair warning and a heads up. But so on Friday, September 15th, Tiffany Hall called 911 and reported she had given birth to a stillborn baby. She and the deceased baby girl were taken to the hospital, and so Tiffany refused to be examined, but she told authorities that she had been sexually assaulted
And that's what caused the birth.
Yep, and that's what caused the birth. So the special victims units and stuff were, they were called in to investigate, and the baby's cause of death was unclear. So they're like, and they also thought it was strange that she wasn't wanting to get, checked out or anything like that. They said she was kind of calm for what she was explaining, but you could chuck it up to shock, whatever. So then, it was Thursday the 21st that they held a funeral for the baby.
She also called her boyfriend back from the military. Yes, he was in active duty.
Yep, he was in active duty. He came home on emergency leave to attend the funeral. And they had named the baby Taylor. However, though, things got a little strange when Tiffany was like, "Hey, babe, you back from the military?
Thank you for stopping everything that you're doing to come
back here.
Sorry for protecting and serving the country, but I needed you more.
I need to tell you something." He's like, yeah, baby, what's up?" She says, "This ain't your baby."
She told him she had miscarriage, right?
Yeah, she tells him, "I actually miscarried your baby. This ain't your baby. This is the baby I removed from my cousin's body after killing her."
Okay, so on September 15th, Jimella and Tiffany were, doing what best friends do. They hang out or whatever. And
kicking it.
And the whole time they thought that, she thought that, hey, I'm just chilling with my best friend today. Nothing spectacular. This is what we do every day. So I guess Tiffany found it in her spirit to take a table leg and start beating Jimella senseless with this leg until she became unconscious. So with that, she had her in the bathtub and she had a pair of scissors. And she just decided, hey, I am going to take my best friend's baby. I don't know where she got off with that. Like, what did you expect? Like, cutting a baby out of someone's stomach? Like, you thought that
she thought she was playing a game of Operation, like she was real.
Because I still was like, when researching this, I was trying to wrap my mind around this. Like,
she must have saw that on a Lifetime movie. I'm not gonna lie, I've seen that somewhere.
It's like, it's the weirdest thing to me. And so
it's beyond, and especially when it's your friend. That's the person you love or allegedly loved or cared about. And you can just mutilate them.
And the thing was, she still wasn't, the girl wasn't dead. She was just unconscious.
Right.
So she had her left in the bathtub after cutting the baby out. And she just took the baby with her, leaving her best friend there.
But she was still alive at that point because she ended up bleeding to death.
So she didn't die from getting hit with a table leg. She basically died from blood loss over time. And sometimes you instantly don't die of blood loss. You could be dead a couple hours later. So she took the baby and went on about her day, acting like shit was normal, and it really wasn't.
Okay, so now we are up to the point where we know what happens to Jimella. Jimella was attacked by her best friend, and her baby was ripped out of her body.
Yeah.
We also know that Jimella's baby, her stillborn, I guess, baby, was then buried. We know that the boyfriend is been called back from active duty by the cuckoo.
Yep, by Tiffany.
By Ass Ponytail. And now we also are to the point where she has told him that she didn't have this baby. This is not his baby. This is her cousin's baby
that she killed. Like, she made sure to put that in there. She's like, actually, this is my cousin's baby that I killed.
Just wild.
And can y'all imagine what he like? Could you imagine how that conversation must have went?
Fly on the wall, want to see his face because I'm sure he was like,
"Bitch, what?"
Right.
And so he immediately calls 911 and
As he should.
Yes.
But what made her so cozy to think that?
Oh, I'm
Man, she thought she was giving to him good.
Baby, not with that ugly ass ponytail, you wouldn't.
We own this lady ponytail.
It's so horrible. Y'all need to look at her ponytail. It's raggedy.
So she tells him he calls the police, and police now have started an investigation. They find Jimella's body in a weedy patch, which was near Tiffany's home.
Right. So she just threw her cousin, supposed to be best friend, just threw her out in the weed patch. On top of mutilating her, beating her with the leg of a table or whatever. She just did not give a damn.
Yep. And so Tiffany was then taken into custody, and that's when
they started investigating her. Like, what is going on? What happened here?
The mothers are all devastated. They're like, "Oh my gosh!" And they like, wait a goddamn minute. Mm-hmm. Where's Jimella's other 3 children?
Right. Because she got 3 other children.
They like, where are they? They are nowhere to be found. So nobody has heard about nothing from Damon, Ivan, or Jinella since last week. These ain't teenagers or adults.
These are kids.
7 years and younger.
And 2, right.
And then a 1-year-old, like.
It ain't like they can just take care of themselves.
Right. Ain't nobody heard from them. So
in the investigation, they go to the boyfriend
of
Jimella. So Jimella's boyfriend, who her children were with, they're talking to him, and he's like, well, Tiffany came and picked up the kids. She said, Jimella said, come get the kids.
Oh, guess what day this was? This was on September 18th.
Okay. So this is, 3 days after she didn't attack the mom?
Yes. 3 days after she didn't killed and attacked the mom. So, timeline for you. She kills Jimella on September 15th.
Yep.
September 18th, she goes and picks up the kids. Mm-hmm. September 21st, she hosts the funeral for the baby, the unborn infant. Yes, and then
she tells her boyfriend
that she that this is not his baby. That she took this baby from her best friend and killed her. Mm-hmm. That same day, they find Jimella's body
on a weed patch.
Yep, by her house, and that's when they start asking questions about the other 3 kids.
Okay.
So on the 22nd, they go to Jimella's house and Taylor's house. Tiffany's house, and they are checking to see if they can find any clue of where these kids are. They find nothing. They find not a thing. So now they like, okay, we got to go and talk to Tiffany. They go back to Tiffany, and they putting pressure on her.
Mm-hmm. Like, the jig is up, boo.
Probably telling her all type of stuff like, we know you did it, and it's only a matter of time, and you're looking at life or death penalty.
It needs to be death penalty. This is Illinois, and we have death. Oh no, he took damn Quinn.
Nope.
You know what, Quinn?
But so she eventually tells them on the 23rd. She goes, "Oh, they at the house, all right." Mm-hmm. She said, "Did you check the washer and dryer?"
Let's play Blue's Clues.
Why would anyone check a washer and dryer for, like? It's just the audacity and the cuckoo-ness in her. Like, she really is giving a little bit of serial killer
and
vibes.
She did it one by one.
Yes. Right. She's giving like that lack of empathy and like her answers. Oh, guess what? This ain't your baby. Your baby was stillborn.
Yeah, but she just says everything is like a matter of fact. Like,
it's so weird.
And it's how you know she literally lacked empathy, because if she was giving those kids a bath one by one, guess that same bathtub that she killed her best friend in.
Stop! I didn't think about that.
That's it. She literally the bathtub she killed her best friend in is she gave those kids a bath, put 2 in the washer and 1 in the dryer.
Yes, she drowned them each one by one, and like she even goes on to say that I told 2 of them it was bath time, or 1 of them it was bath time, and then after I drowned them, I brought the last one in and I said, hey, it's time for you to take a bath. And you got to think like she's babysat them many a time, so this is a normal routine
occurrence for them.
Even for the 7-year-old, he's like, okay, it's normal for her to be like, come on, let's take a bath. This is a person that you trust,
and their kids.
This is somebody that you trust. And yeah, she drowned them one by one. And I can't.
Looking at her pictures just pissed me off.
Don't it? Every single one of them made me want to just slap them.
And you were so young. You had like they were relatively young when all of this happened, and like you literally didn't think about the rest of your natural born life. Like
I
you
think
really
she thought she was gonna get away with it. I think she thought she was gonna tell her boyfriend he was gonna be just as like hollow as she
It's
was.
okay, baby. I know you killed what
What
5 people?
hello?
Literally.
Now, did she actually tell him that she killed the kids too, or she just told him about
she just told him
about the baby
Jamella
and
and
Jamila?
the baby. Yep.
But she just was wild. She I feel like I need another word besides wild, but it is just it boggles my mind how you can be so cold.
I just like I'm wondering, did like the baby dad have like any thought like something is telling me not to let my kid, even though she'll say, hey, Jamila told me to pick up the kids today. You know, he probably wasn't thinking nothing more of that.
Right.
But I wonder at that time, like, did he have some type of like his intuition was kind of like, no, I don't think I really want to let my kids go today. Like,
I wonder though, like especially if she was always watching them kids, it was probably a routine for him of her coming to pick up the kids too. Because you're not gonna just let your kids go with somebody that you aren't accustomed to letting your kids go with. That would be like, there's no way that my brother-in-law just gonna turn over the kids to somebody because somebody came up and said, "Hey, so come pick them up." Like that ain't happening. That ain't happening.
right.
It has to be something that is very normal, something that is normally discussed, something that happens. It just it's giving like she literally used those opportunities and her normal routines of what people trusted her for, and she used them as a weapon against them.
That's fucking sad, really.
So we keep talking about like, how did she do this? Like, how could a person do this? You know, and what was wrong with her and stuff like this. The thing is that like this wasn't a spur of the moment thing for her.
Mm-mm.
This wasn't her and Jamila were hanging out and something went wrong where she got upset and decided she was just gonna beat her over the head.
Mm-hmm.
And she had planned this like a week before. She told them that a week before the attack, she had bought rubbing alcohol, a sharp object, and a nasal aspirator. So she had been planning this for at least a week.
Man,
but you know
the nasal aspirator
probably for the baby.
See? Because she's gonna cut the baby out, so she knows like when babies are born, they have like a film and mucus and stuff on them, and you got to get that stuff out of them so they can breathe. That crazy psycho bitch.
Yep. She was like, I hadn't thought of everything, but you got to think. A week ago, she bought the supplies. You know she was thinking about it for even longer before she went and bought the supplies.
But what drove her to be like, I want to kill my best friend?
I wonder when she actually had that miscarriage.
There's no confirmation if she actually did or whatever. But
like you say, were they sure she was actually pregnant?
I don't know. But my thing is that you had to be plotting on your best friend for a long time.
Yep.
To build up the audacity to slice open this person that you've known since kindergarten.
That you call your cousin.
That you call your cousin.
Okay. Right.
You and that y'all families are close. Y'all know each other, and you watch her kids. You have a relationship not just with her, but with her children
and her mama.
And you able to kill her and her kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then go on to bury her baby as if it's your baby.
Yeah. And throw you out in the weeds.
Mm. Yeah, so then the hearing begins.
God help us.
Here we go.
She was charged.
Let me set the scene for the trial. She in an ugly ass yellow jumpsuit. She got this ponytail with this scrunchy. I mean, it's an ugly ass ponytail, y'all. And I know I keep talking about it, but
this
just
ponytail is pissing her off, y'all. I am fucking weak as hell.
It's just so ugly. It's like, why did you bother putting that in the bun?
We're gonna have links and pictures in the notes.
And her face, she looked like she just don't give a shit. That's the other part that pissed me off. It's like, girl. Whew. On June 9th, 2008, in the St. Clair County Court, Tiffany Hall pled guilty for 4 counts of murder and 1 count of intentional homicide. Authorities say that in 2006, she killed her pregnant friend and her fetus, then later murdered the woman's 3 children. In exchange for her plea, prosecutors withdrew the death penalty, and they gave her a minimum sentence of life without the possibility of parole. That September, Hall, of course, being the lovely person that she is, moved to have her guilty plea withdrew.
Of course you did.
But the judge, Milton Wharton, denied her request. And in 2012, she filed a petition for a post-conviction relief and asked for a new lawyer because,
that old one wasn't good. He didn't get me off.
Listen, it's everybody else. So, she said that he failed to properly investigate the fact that she is mentally ill, which we all could discover and did not need anybody to investigate.
We could
that.
see
they
that.
They said, though, that they did the psych test or whatever, they came back fine. They said her IQ was below normal. But
it was like at a 70, right?
Yes, a little rough. When a judge dismissed this petition, the 5th District Appellate Court remained, they got the request and did further proceedings to it. And that was done by Judge Zena Cruz. And in March 2015, Cruz appointed a post-conviction counsel. And in January 2016, the state moved to dismiss the lawyer's amended petition, calling into question its proprietary insanity defense, saying Hall never alleged or said that she was coerced or that this was involuntary, and she never did have any real claim to having ineffective counsel.
no.
So I was looking at the National Institute for Health and Care Excellence Scope, called NICE. It's basically saying if your IQ is considered less than 70, you're considered mentally retarded. But it's saying like it's a heterogeneous condition. But I was like, yeah, this does not negate the fact she knew she was wrong. See, there's a difference between having a learning disability, being mentally retarded, but you know you're wrong.
The fact that you planned this.
But also, too, you have to understand that when they are dealing with and they're looking at IQ, you will find that different demographics are going to score differently on IQ. Yeah. It's the same thing like when you looked at standardized testing for SATs, ACTs. It's like based upon the things that you learn.
Yeah.
And so just because she had a 70, yes, it may have been lower on that scale. Like, she was still functioning. She had children.
Yes.
She was out here in the world.
She knew what she was doing.
She knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
That's not
and there are people who have a mental IQ in 70 and below, but they are seemingly some of the most intelligent people.
And my thing is that, regardless of what she tested or whatever, she had a moral compass.
Yes.
She knew right from wrong.
She
which is
she didn't utilize that moral compass. But she knew what was
because she knew that when she went to the hospital to lie and say that the baby was hers,
she knew to hide that dang on body.
She knew to hide the body. She knew these things
were wrong.
Because if it was really like, oh, I had a psychotic break or whatever the case may be, why are you lying?
Right.
Why do you feel like you got to cover it up?
Right.
And then why do you do this big admission to your boyfriend when he gets here, telling him, yeah, this actually ain't your baby. I killed my best friend and took her baby.
But I'm thinking the reason why she did what she did was because she harmed her baby, gave her baby a disability that baby will now be fucked up for the rest of their natural born life. So now she feel like, okay, well, I feel like since I fucked up my baby,
I need a replacement.
Or I feel like sick. Somebody go through the same shit that I'm going through right now.
Or maybe do right by your child that you messed up. Like, yes, your child is messed up. You want a child, then do your dang on best that you can for the one that you messed up. Like, put your efforts in your life to being the best parent that you now can be to this child that you have maimed for the rest of their life.
Absolutely.
Poor
And
baby.
it's like I don't know.
Well, and then you said, didn't you say that she really did?
She was never really pregnant. So the
Okay.
whole telling him that she miscarried or whatever, we did find that out that that wasn't true. She faked the whole pregnancy because she was just trying to get her boyfriend to come home from the Navy.
Wild.
So she did all of this simply because she wanted a baby and she wanted to give her boyfriend a reason to come home from the Navy.
Oh, well, that's fucking selfish as fuck.
Yep. So there's a little bit more into her court proceedings. After they decided there was nothing to prove that she had ineffective counsel, then Cruz did not grant the request to continue communication with her attorney regarding this amended petition. And in September 2016, the state filed a second motion to dismiss Hall's request for relief. Cruz granted that motion in 2017, prompting Hall to again appeal to the 5th District. So it went to a new justice. She just wasting taxpayer dollars and all kinds of stuff. But this went to James Moore, and he wrote his opinion of the appellate on January 3rd. And that at that point, Justice Judy Katz and Mark Bowie, they concurred and agreed with his original thought. Well, his now, what is this? We've gone through 4 judges, but he also agreed, like, there's nothing here. Stop wasting our time. Go find something else to do. Go enjoy jail. So according to the panel, the appellate centers on whether Hall's attorney failed to make necessary amendments to a petition, including available supporting evidence. So to refrain from that potential meritus claim, so saying that there was something that was defective in her that would have led to being able to call her like mentally insane and ineffective for like being able to receive counsel. So basically, in this case, they pointed out that. So in this case, the state pointed the error out of the post-conviction counsel that the first motion was dismissed. The post-conviction counsel actually, even though she claimed they failed to demonstrate or even get a motion that could be sent forth, that it was not, her attorney didn't actually do anything wrong. And then Cruz, which was the second judge that things went to, backed him up, and then that was the end of it. That was the end of all of her little, please let me out.
She was claiming to have,
first she said she had ineffective counsel, then she requested that it was appealed and that her life without parole would be reduced because of ineffectiveness of counsel. Then she asked, after they had given their judgment and said no, they weren't ineffective, they did their job, then she requested to have a post-conviction appellate, like beyond the point of saying they messed up. Now I need you to look at, well, these things weren't right.
All saying that they were ineffective because they didn't fully test her to see if she was mentally
handicapped or insane or whatever.
So you have the sense enough to keep doing all these appeals.
Girl, baby, bye.
You appeal. You got the sense enough to appeal that you ain't got sense to know,
honey,
that you,
you could have not just done it.
Wow, what a concept.
Wait, like not do it?
Wait, not murder my friend and steal her baby and kill her baby and not kill her kids?
That's an option.
You could have not done that at all.
God damn it.
Thank you for telling me.
You could have avoided all of that.
Literally,
you could have been living life. You would have been somewhere in your 40s.
5 people would have still been on this planet living their life great without you.
On this floating damn rock. But here we are.
Here we are. Because Tiffany Hall with her fucked up ponytail has to come on over there.
It's going to always go back to the ponytail.
It is the ponytail. The ponytail was angry.
That ponytail made her do all that crazy shit anyway.
Alright, so after all the drama that she caused, she did end up with life in prison without the possibility of parole. So, yay.
She got what she deserved. Well,
I feel like she deserved the electric chair, but
since they don't do that, She got the best that we can do.
They gonna do the best they can with what they got.
Yep. But the family, they were very much so like
relieved.
They were like, we didn't see the point of death penalty. They were like, taking her life wouldn't have equated to the 5 lives she taken.
And like her stepmom, her stepmom was saying, basically like at least God is basically gonna deal with her for what she did.
That's what she said. She was like, I like to leave justice in God's hands.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to be.
I know. Yeah. Still, it just sucks. Mm-hmm. But I'm not gonna say the beauty within anything because it's still a fucked up situation. But
something a wrong that was committed was corrected.
Yeah. They exhumed the baby that was cut from Jimella, and they actually exhumed Jimella to bury her with the baby and all of her siblings. So I feel like that's kind of like a together again type of thing, but it's just still unfortunate that all of them innocent souls died at the hands of her because of envy.
Beyond envy and stupidity, jealousy,
callousness,
and not only that, like all of this because she was unable to deal with what her life was, with the mess that she created.
Mm-hmm. My thing is that here you are, you talking about still another baby, you want another baby, but you weren't even doing what you were supposed to do for the kids you had. Mm-hmm. You know, like who beats a 2-month-old to the
what
point
could a 2-month-old
have possibly done? Long-term cry, because that's what they do. Like, but to the point of long-term disabilities. Like I saw somewhere where they said that kid is now 7 and can barely make audible noises and still has to wear a diaper.
That's so sad.
But the thing is that they beat her to that point and then saw fit to give the child back,
which makes no sense.
And shame on them. Shame on that justice system. Matter of fact, shame on the justice system, period. But come on, these are people who, like, this baby lost its life. The one baby lost his life. The other baby is disabled for the rest of their. They don't have a quality of life now. They will never be able to, enjoy things and do all of this, all because of the mom was just.
And then
I do want to give a shout out again to the East St. Louis police though, because they be solving these cases.
They do.
They need to go get some classes, honey.
They do.
They coming 2 for 2 so far. They ain't letting no time. They ain't letting no grass grow up underneath their feet. They going.
Yeah, this one was done, solved, and closed. What, within 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the murder. That was quick. Even though they had to have a Blues Clues, but that's okay
because they did their job. They were investigating. They don't know everything. They don't know
true.
No one know what Cuckoo Bird was doing.
But if you go on to search somebody's house, you searching everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I feel like
because if y'all was doing a drug raid, you opening every drawer, every cabinet, everything. You searching for kids, and you're not gonna.
But I don't think nobody's searching for no kid in a washer and dryer.
I'm searching every nook and cranny.
So I'm gonna tell you, I watch a lot of the Law and Order, and they search and stuff. You see them toss drawers when they're looking for like little bits of evidence, guns, weapons, and stuff like that. I have never witnessed when I've watched Law and Order anybody search a washer and dryer.
I will say this: when we were kids playing hide and seek, the washer was my favorite place to hide. Oh. So that's why I say I'm searching every nook and anywhere that a kid can fit.
I used to like to go in the cabinet.
Exactly. I would be in the
closet, something like that. I just think if I'm playing hide and seek, my mama would have been like, "Girl, get your goddamn ass out the washing machine."
It was the best spot though.
It was the best. Nobody looked at
I was the only one that could fit in there too.
So. Oh my god! I forgot you were very little. So Mary was extremely little as a child.
But really though, like you say, just getting classes, and I think just for further education. I'm sure that after this case, now if there's ever a missing kids case, I bet you they searching everywhere.
Right, searching everything.
Shit, if they looking under houses,
true, they can look in
for people. They can look in the washer and dryer. You know how much it takes to look under a house, especially if it's not one of those houses that has.
Like a crawl space or something.
Yeah, like my old house did. How it had that fence, and you could just pull it out and go under the house. Yeah, like they probably gonna start doing shit like that. Well, they probably already are now, but
yeah, because you gotta think this was back in like 2006. So I'm sure that it sucks, but unfortunately, stuff like this is a live and learn. Like you learn
and
from
I'm sure
experience.
You have to think about it though, how dramatic and traumatic that case was. I'm sure they ain't never seen no shit like that.
Nothing like that.
Imagine what they felt like or saw when they saw them babies in that
men getting or the police officers, because I'm sure it was men and women, but getting those babies out of the washer and dryer.
And that she had 2 of them were naked and one still had on underwear. So you have to, like you said, the traumatic experience of opening this up and seeing kids stuffed in here.
Mm-hmm. That's sad.
Kids that's been dead for what, going on 4 or 5 days now.
Yeah.
So they beyond rigor mortis at this point. They breaking down. Yeah, so this concludes the unfortunate case of Jimella Tunstall and her children and Tiffany Hall. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, reach out to us on markedinthemidwest@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook at markedinthemidwest.com. We also have a TikTok now. Marked in the Midwest.
And we're on Instagram, which is linked to our TikTok.
So make sure that you are following us on everything. Make sure you are commenting, sending us emails with suggestions, what you want to hear, what content
feedback
you want to see. And we will see you all or talk to you all next week.
Please don't murder your friends.
Don't murder anybody.
Don't do that.
Just talk to the Lord.
If you're thinking about it, go to therapy.
Yeah, we got lists of therapists too. If you want that, so if you want to do that, just let us know. You ain't gotta tell your name. Murder is not the way. But adios, friends.
Bye.